That can stay on.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. So happy to see so many faces with us this afternoon. My name is Marty Wally. I'll be the mistress of ceremonies this afternoon. Before we get started, I would like you to meet Pastor Hejong. She is our new minister here at Sparta United Methodist Church, and she's always looking to meet people in the community. So I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello. Good to see you all. Music is a binding thing, and music is an inspirational thing. Let's start from there, okay? Thank you very much.
We are fortunate today to have many talented and gifted musicians, and hopefully you will leave closing your eyes and swaying to the words and melodies. The Records and History Committee appreciates the time and enthusiasm these community members put into our community in concert. Sit back and enjoy the memories. We will start with Bill and Dave, and I'm not going to introduce or do the songs for everyone. It's in your program and on the screen, I believe, so I'm just going to save the redundancy.
And we didn't do a sound check, so.
Test, test. There, sound check is done.
It's a song by John Prine called Fish and Whistle. For those of you who aren't familiar with John Prine, you should look him up. He's quite a, he was quite prolific, and I guess you'd call it Americana music. Somewhere between country and folk, and he writes very humorous stuff and very poignant stuff as well. So at any rate, one of my favorites. So Fish and Whistle.
1, 2, 3, 4. I've been thinking lately about the people I meet, the car wash on the corner and the hole in the street. Hey, my ankles hurt with my shoes on my feet, and I'm wondering if I'm gonna see tomorrow. Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us, we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue, then we'll whistle and go fishing in a heaven. I was in the army, but I never dug a trench. I used to bust my knuckles on a monkey wrench. I'd go to town and drink and give the girls a pinch, but I don't think they ever really noticed me. Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us, we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue, then we'll whistle and go fishing in a heaven. Fish and a whistle. Whistle and fish, eat everything that they put on your dish. And when we get through, we'll make a big wish that we never have to do this again. Again, again, oh my. my very first job, I said thank you and please. They made me scrub a parking lot down on my knees. Then I got fired for being scared of bees, and they only gave me 50 cents an hour. Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us, we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue. Then we'll whistle and go fishing in a heaven. Fish and whistle, whistle and fish. Eat everything that they put on your dish. And when we get through, we'll make a big wish that we never have to do this again. Again, again. Oh, Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us, we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue. Then we'll whistle and go fishing in a heaven. We'll whistle and go fishing in a heaven. We'll whistle and go fishing in a heaven. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a little background. These gentlemen have been making music for some 6 years. They met at a meeting of the Cheeseland Uke Band, and Dave was the co-founder of that group. And so they've been playing guitar and uke at farmers markets, campgrounds, and various other venues. Dave is a retired cabinet maker, and Bill is a math instructor at UW La Crosse. Thank you, gentlemen. Even if you have never played a game from the Legend of Zelda series, you already know the legend. A brave young knight travels to the four corners of the world to find the princess, defeat monsters, and save the world. In 2017, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was released to rave reviews and critical acclaim, and has since been the standard bearer for open world style video games. It won Game of the Year from multiple publications that year and is consistently ranked as the best game of the 2010s. But what Tyler enjoyed most about it was the piano music, hours and hours of it, of which he will only be able to share about 7 minutes with you today. Tyler Bogler has played piano his whole life and has worked as a piano teacher and piano tuner in the Sparta area since 2016. He would like to thank the Sparta United Methodist Church for hosting this event and being a pillar in our community, and all the other musicians for sharing their time and talent. Richard Zittich is a member of the Sparta United Methodist Church. He enjoys playing golf and bowling. Rich plays in a band that performs for the elderly in assisted living and nursing homes. For years, he has shared his talent at the candlelight service on Christmas Eve here in our church.
I don't know if you're that guy up there. His name is Don Williams. I don't believe in superstars, organic food, or foreign cars. I don't believe the price of gold, the certainty of getting old, that right is right and left is wrong, that north and south can't get along, that east is east and west is west, and B and first is always best. But I believe in love, and I believe in babies. I believe in mom and dad, and I believe in you. I don't believe that heaven waits for only those who congregate. I like to think of God as love. He's down below, he's up above. He's watching people everywhere. He knows who does and doesn't care. And I'm an ordinary man. Sometimes I wonder who I am, but I believe in love. And I believe in music. I believe in magic, and I believe in you. Well, I know with all my certainty what's going on with you and me is a good thing. It's true. I believe in you. I don't believe virginity is common as it used to be, in working days and sleeping nights, that black is black and white is white, that Superman and Robin Hood are still alive in Hollywood, that gasoline's in short supply, the rising cost of getting by. But I believe in love, and I believe in old folk. I believe in children, and I believe in you. I believe in children, and I believe in you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Thank you.
Jim and Gina Hershey were married in 1981 and have been singing together ever since. Over the years, 6 children joined in singing with them. Eventually, they learned to play various instruments, and they became a bluegrass/country band. One by one, all the children left, and now it is back to the 2 of them again. Someone said they may have brought some others to join in today, and if that's true, we're happy to have them. They own a trucking business hauling railroad ties out of Bangor, and Jim hauls forest wood products. Gina volunteers helping elderly ladies with various needs or spending time with them to brighten their day.
Should clap first or clap last? I don't know what, I forgot what my wife wrote. She told me and I forgot, and I read it and I still forgot. Anyway, there used to be 8 of us. Then 6 of them got married. My wife and I are the only ones left, and this is all we got to substitute. But they happen to be my brothers, and we've sang since we were, well, I was out of my diaper, but I don't know about Alan. But anyway, I don't know what's anything's on.
Hello, hello.
One, two.
Testing.
Okay, there we go.
Check, check, check.
We're used to one mic.
So it's good to be here again. Sydney is one persistent. She forevermore bugged, and finally I relented. And anyway, my wife Regina and I, and we used to sing for 20-some years at the Morrow home. A couple times a month, and went down to, well, they got upset when I said once a month. And got to know a lot of people there, a lot of elderly. Her and I both used to be CNAs. I was in Virginia and she was in Spooner, Wisconsin. So older people were part of our lives for many years. And something I always dreamt of doing when I was in a CNA is to sing. And if God ever granted me children, I wanted to be able to sing. First of all, I had to find me a wife that could carry a tune. And God gave me that. And then 6 children, 4 daughters and 2 sons. And we sang Mexico to Canada and all over. And really enjoyed it. And it was a dream of mine to sing for the elderly. What I noticed in a nursing home is the elderly people loved music. It calmed their soul and their spirit and helped them to be one with God. And it's something I wanted, and I did, and God gave me that privilege. And here we are today, just hit and miss anymore, but I still enjoy singing. The song here is Don't Neglect the Rose, and I know you just practice. And I don't know who wrote it. It's not 2 winning hands in your piece of paper there. I changed the song because I was riding in my semi one day, and I liked this song. I never heard it before. So we put it together and we just practiced the last 5 minutes. Anyway. There stands a rose down in your garden. You left it there all alone. It's been neglected, feels unwanted, and no love to it is shown. Its beauty now is fastly fading. Once it was the brightest red. It's withering fast, its head is bowing, and no kind word to it are said. Please don't neglect the rose in your garden. Show it your love every day, and it will prove to be the sweetest flowers that will never fade away. I guess by now you know my story. Don't neglect the love that's true, 'cause it may prove to be the sweetest flower that will never bloom for you. It could be a mother, sister, or brother, a husband, wife, or a little child. Or it could be the love of your Savior that you neglected all this while. Please don't let the rose in your garden show it your love every day, and it will prove to be the sweetest flower that will never fade away. For Jesus is the rose in your garden. Show him your love every day, and he will prove to be the sweetest flower that will never fade away, and he'll never fade away. You know, now you know why I miss my kids. There's a lady here that's going to sing sometime here. My wife leaned over to me and she said, she introduced this song and she said, if I say any more, I'm going to start crying. And I'm one with her. When you sing with your kids from the time that they could walk and talk, and you sing with them, and you sing with them all over, and then they move and they got children of their own. Yeah, anyway, it's a blessing to sing. God gave us a voice, and let's use it for him. Nope, key of A. This is an old chuck wagon gang. How many knows the chuck wagon gang around here? How many knows Albert Bromley?
Nobody.
Oh, anyway, I grew up with the chuck wagon gang, like the Carter family. That's my roots. Anyway.
You're old.
And the chuck wagon always started out like this. But he's going to do something else. I was wandering far from Jesus in the paths of sin and shame.
When I looked
up,
and he looked down,
I was never sought salvation, never trusted in his name. When I looked up,
and he looked down, Yes, I looked up,
and he looked down,
and what do you know?
I'm a heaven bound.
I'm heaven bound.
Yes, I looked up, and he looked down, and one of these days I know I'll wear a crown.
Shining crown.
I had reached a sorry station in this wilderness below.
When I looked
up,
and he looked down,
I had wasted all my substance, and my hope was sinking fast. When I looked up, and he looked down,
Yes, I looked
up, and he looked down, and what do you know? I'm a heaven bound.
I'm heaven bound.
Yes, I looked up, and he looked down, and one of these days I know I'll wear a
beautiful shining crown.
All my burdens have been lighter ever since he changed my way.
When I looked up, and he looked down,
I had walking in his favor, and I praise him for the day. When I looked up,
and he looked down, Yes, I looked up,
and he looked down,
and what do you know?
I'm a heaven bound.
I'm heaven bound.
Yes, I looked up, and he looked down, and one of these days I know I'll wear a
beautiful shining crown.
Pauline Fonning has lived in Sparta for the last 22 years with her husband, Todd. They raised two beautiful children, Matthew and Lauren. Pauline is the music activities director at Rolling Hills. Her hobbies include gardening, painting, yoga, and music. Currently, she is working with a talented group of musicians and hopes the folk group will play here in Sparta soon. She's obsessed with the 60s and 70s.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkle moon dust in your hair of gold and skylight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkle moon dust in their hair of gold and skylight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why close to you? Close to you. Thank you.
Ellen Hemstock is a retired music teacher. She has taught at all levels of vocal music. The last 15 years were at the elementary level in Sparta. She has enjoyed a long career directing musicals, including Guys and Dolls, Kiss Me Kate, Camelot, and The Wiz. Ellen graduated with a Bachelor of Music degree in piano performance and music education from UW-Madison. She continued her music education, earning a master's degree in secondary choral from Boston University. She continues to accompany and direct choirs at the United Methodist Church in Sparta and for Sparta High School's music events. She will play keyboard for the upcoming musical Newsies in November. Burrows started singing in youth choirs in 3rd grade and has been active in just about any choir she could find since then. She also loves to sing on stage and has performed many musical theater roles over the years. By day, she is a global trainer for CWT Sato Travel and has been with them for 24 years. By night, she is active in the United Methodist Church on the Servant Leadership Board, United Women in Faith, Chancel Choir, Praise Band, and Summit Spirits Theater Group. In a shameless plug, she shares she will be playing Lorraine Jensen, mother of 9, in the Charitable Sisterhood Christmas Spectacular, the first 2 weekends of December 2023, here at the United Methodist Church.
Y'all come. When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened me, then I am still and wait here in the dear silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come, I am filled with wonder. Sometimes I glimpse eternity. You raise me to more than I can be.
Wyatt Tripp is a busy sophomore at Sparta High School. He is in robotics, archery, art club, band, games club, and plays piano in the jazz band and for his church. He also likes to create online content. William Pugh is our guest organist today. Bill is a 1974 graduate of the College Conservatory of Music at the University of Cincinnati. He has loved pipe organs and the organ repertoire since at least 5th grade. His career has been divided between tuning, servicing, playing, and building pipe organs, and servicing, restoring, playing, and recording music for Deegan Towers chimes. He helped refurbish our historic pipe organ in 2020, and we're thankful to him as he keeps it in tune for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Pugh.
Just a word. Louis Vierne was a church musician and couldn't quite make ends meet. And these 24 pieces were written for the secular market for some extra income. So they're suitable for reed organ or pipe organ.
Not a Sparta native, Mark Hellman has lived in Sparta for 19 years with his wife, Marla. Music has always been a passion for him, starting at a young age. Telling stories through song is what makes him happy, and he hopes to convey that through what you hear today. His first selection is Tell My Father.
Tell my father that his son didn't run or surrender, that I bore his name with pride as I tried to remember. You are judged by what you do while passing through. As I rest 'neath fields of green, let him lean on your shoulder. Tell him how I spent my youth, so the truth could grow older. Tell my father when you can, I was a man. Tell him we will meet again where the angels learn to fly. Tell him we will meet as man, for with honor did I die. Tell him how I wore the blue, proud and true, through the fire. Tell my father so he'll know I love him so. Tell him we will meet again where the angels learn to fly. Tell him we will meet as man, for with honor did I die. Tell him how I wore the blue, proud and true, like he taught me. Tell my father not to cry, then say goodbye.
Ron Phillips, originally from La Crosse and now living in Sparta, has been playing the guitar for 43 years. During all those years, he has formed many great musical friendships, playing in a variety of bands in Sparta. Ron is not sure what the song "The World I Know" by Collective Soul means to the writer, But for him, it's about the sorry state of affairs in the world today and how saddening it is.
Hi. Has our conscience shown? Has the sweet breeze blown? Has all kindness gone? Hope still lingers on. I drink myself a newfound pity, sitting alone in New York City, and I don't know why. Are we listening? Hymns of offering. Have we eyes to see? Love is gathering. All the words that I've been reading now have started the act of bleeding into one, into one. So I walked upon high, and I stepped to the edge to see my world below. Had to laugh at myself while the tears rolled down, 'cause it's the world I know. Oh, it's the world I know. I drink myself a newfound pity, sitting alone in New York City, and I don't know why. Don't know why. So I walked upon high, and I stepped to the edge to see my world below. Had to laugh at myself while the tears roll down, 'cause it's the world I know. Oh, it's the world I know. Yeah, I walked upon high, and I stepped to the edge to see my world below. Had to laugh at myself while the tears rolled down, 'cause it's the world I know. Oh, it's the world I know.
Trevor Tripp is a general music teacher at Southside Early Learning Center and Sparta Montessori. He also teaches band to 6th grade students. Trevor is married to his lovely wife, Sarah, and they have a son named Wyatt who is in high school, and you met Wyatt earlier. Trevor likes to read, walk his dog, and play with his horse.
And play whatever's in front of me. Hold on. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cherry. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheroo. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Oh, blow me a kiss. And that's lucky too. Now that the ladder of life has been strung, you may think a sweep's on the bottommost rung. Though I spends me time in the ashes and smoke, in this whole wide world there's no happier bloke. I choose souls with pride, yes I do. A broom for the shaft and a brush for the flue. Though I'm covered in soot from me head to me toes, a sweep knows he's welcome wherever he goes. Up where the smoke is all billowed and curled, between pavement and stars is the chimney sweep world, where there's hardly no day and hardly no night, with things half in shadow and halfway in light. On the rooftops of London. Cool, what a sight. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cherry. When you're with the sweep, you're in glad company. Nowhere is there a more happier crew than them what sings chim chim cherry, chim cheroo. Chim chimney, chim chim cherry, chim cheroo.
In the fall of 1963, at the age of 7, Lori Bartholomew began taking piano lessons. She didn't know it then, but soon found out that learning to play the piano really meant countless hours of after-school practice sessions, toiling away at scales, finger exercises, and mastering very simple arrangements of everything from Minuet in G to Rhapsody in Blue. She's not sure how her parents stood the racket over the next 5 years, but she's glad they found a way. The life lessons she learned during that time guided her over the next 60 years. Lori has lived in the Sparta community for 20 plus years with her husband, Craig. She plays the piano at the Sparta United Methodist Church, is a member of the Wesleyan Circle, and has formed one of the Tuesday night soup supper teams. Simple melodies are her favorite. She hopes you will enjoy the following tunes in the key of C major.
So the tunes that I'll be playing, is this on? Can you hear me? They're written in the key of C major, which is the beginning piano student's easiest and beginning scale, because all of the keys are white keys. There are no black keys that are played. So I love that C major scale and C major tunes, and I'll be playing 3 of them today. They're also written in 3/4 time, so if you feel like getting up and waltzing, if you feel that, that's what you're going to feel. A couple of years ago, I wrote a couple of poems. I went through I was just inspired to write a couple of poems, and so I wrote some poetry, and I wanted to put it to music, so I wrote a couple of tunes for the poems. And I'll be playing a couple of those today. The first one's called Heavenward, and it's a poem about our spiritual journeys, the journeys that we take as individuals and the journeys that we take collectively, whether it's with our families, our tribes, our religions, our communities, and that's what that is about. The second one is called, it's called Evensong. And Evensong is a tradition in the Anglican world. It's a prayer service that's held in the evening, and it includes song and devotion. So it's really a song about devotions. I could have named it Vespers as well, because Evensong and Vespers are the same thing. I included in the first verse an image of our very own Wisconsin's Vesper sparrow, common bird here in western Wisconsin. You might see it as you're walking through the grassy fields. It's a nondescript little bird, but the nice thing about him is that in the evenings at Vespers, he comes out and sings his evensong. And so that's what this song is about. It's about devotion and how we pay our devotions, how we express gratitude to whom and why and how often. The third song is by Jay Unger. You've probably all heard it. It's called Ashokan Farewell. Ken Burns heard it one time, and he called Jay Unger and asked him if he could use it for his Civil War series. And so it's very famous. Out of the 11 hours of production in that Civil War series, 1 hour is filled with Ashokan Farewell. So I think a lot of you will recognize it. Jay Unger describes it as a Scottish ballad written by a Jewish man from the Bronx. So we've heard some of the overtones of Scottish ballads today with some of the pipes that Tony had in your background music. And where else did I hear it? The Hinsons, is that your name? I'm sorry, your folk group. Hershey's, okay. Yeah, so that folk Scottish ballad type tune is what Ashokan Farewell is all about. And I love simple melodies. I love playing them. I love listening to them, and I hope you will enjoy these as well. Thank you. Heavenward you lead me, heavenward I'm bound, steadied by your presence, or I'm sinking down. And you can hold your applause if you feel you want to applaud. When I'm finished with these songs.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Dave and Bill with their selection of When Hallie Came to Jackson.
This must be the, is this on? Yeah. This must be the afternoon for dissertations, because I have one as well. I asked Bill to do this song because I have a personal connection to it. The title of it is Holly Came to Jackson, and it has to do with Halley's Comet. And I'm sure you all think those of you who are familiar with it, think I may be mispronouncing that. But I'm not. I have it on good authority that the proper pronunciation is Holly. And my authority is my grandmother's maiden name was Holly. And I'm a direct descendant of Sir Edmund Holly, the guy who discovered this in 1685 or whatever it was. And not only that, my father, whose first name, by the way, was also Holly Charles, was born in 1906. And the song talks about when the comet came around in 1910. My father was 4 years old, and he saw it on his father's porch in Cincinnati, where my cousin Bill, by the way, I have another relative I'm talking about here. He was the organist, still is. So he was 4 years old when he first saw it in 1910. And then in 1986, when it came around again, he saw it from his own front porch here in Sparta. So this song has, like I said, a very personal connection. So that's why I asked Bill and I if we could do that. Late one night when the wind was still, Daddy brought the baby to the windowsill. See a bit of heaven shoot across the sky. One and only time Daddy saw it fly. It came from the east just as bright as a torch. The neighbors had a party on their porch. Daddy rocked the baby, mother said amen when Holly came to visit in 1910.
Back then, Jackson was a real small town. And it's not every night a comet comes around. It was almost 80 years since his last time through. I bet your mother would have said amen too. His tail stretched out like a stardust streak. The papers wrote about it every day for a week. Wondered where it's going and where it's been. When Holly came to Jackson in 1910. Daddy told the baby sleeping in his arms, dream a little dream of a comet's charms. Made a little wish as she slept so sound. In 1986 that wish came round. Came from the east just as bright as a torch. She saw it in the sky from her daddy's porch, as heavenly sent as it was back then. When Holly came to Jackson in 1910. Late one night when the wind was still, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for the lesson on the pronunciation, Dave. We appreciate that. Pauline Fanning returns with a song by Randy Goodrum, and it was sung by Anne Murray in 1978, You Needed Me.
I cried a tear, you wiped it dry. I was confused, you cleared my mind. I sold my soul, you bought it back for me and held me up and gave me dignity. Somehow you needed me. You gave me strength to stand alone again, to face the world out on my own again. You put me high upon a pedestal, so high that I could almost see eternity. You needed me, you needed me, and I can't believe it's you, I can't believe it's true. I needed you, and you were there, and I'd never leave. Why should I leave? I'd be a fool. 'cause I finally found someone who really cares. You held my hand when it was cold, when I was lost. You took me home, you gave me hope when I was at the end, and turned my lies back into truth again. You even called me friend. You gave me strength to stand alone again, to face the world out on my own again. You put me high upon a pedestal, so high that I could almost see eternity. You needed me, you needed me, you needed me, you needed me.
With his vocal gift, Trevor Tripp will be singing What a Wonderful World.
And I was a band director in a previous life, so I can play a little bit too. Oh boy, there we go. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonder. watch him grow. He'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself.
Pairing vocal talents in a duet will be Mark and Tony singing Both Sides Now.
Before we begin, I would just like to make sure that everyone gives a round of applause to Margie Lakowski and Cindy Wise for all of the wonderful work that they have done today. Thank you so much.
Rows and flows of angel hair.
Wish I sounded that way.
And ice cream castles.
Oopsies.
I was throwing my voice really well. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all.
Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away.
I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow
It's love's illusions I recall.
I really don't know love at all.
Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way.
But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed.
Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow
it's life's illusions I recall.
I really don't know love. I've looked at life from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall.
I really don't know life at all.
If you've never heard Nathan Jansen sing, get ready for a wonderful experience. Nathan is a proud member of the Sparta United Methodist Church who thanks his church family for always encouraging him to sing. Their support has bolstered him through dual degrees in finance and music from Viterbo University, which he completed in 2022. Before he continues to grad school for vocal performance, Nathan will be working and performing in the La Crosse area. The piece he selected is a favorite British folk song set in the late Romantic musical style. Nathan would like to thank Tyler Bogler for accompanying him.
Thank you, everyone. Benjamin Britten was a staple of British art song and the very end of the Romantic era of music, which is my favorite. That results in a style that sounds a little bit older than it actually is, but he composed this in the mid-1900s. It's a piece that's touched me because despite the fact that it's about romance and finding a lover all alone and wanting to be with them, it makes me think of the way that God and Jesus look at all of us, that sometimes if you haven't had a lot of big romantic experience in your life, you can hear a piece and hear the voice of Christ inside it. So I hope you can hear that now. Tis the last rose of summer left blooming alone. All her lovely companions are faded and gone. No flower of her kindred, no rosebud is nigh to reflect back her blushes or give
not leave thee, thou lone one, to pine on the stem, since the lovely are sleeping. Go sleep thou with them. Thus kindly I scatter thy leaves o'er the bed, while thy mates of the garden lie senseless and dead. So soon may I follow when friendships decay, and from love's shining circle the gems drop away. When true hearts lie withered and fond ones are flown. Oh, who would inhabit this bleak world
We can't thank you enough for gathering in this historic church to witness the many musical talents of our neighbors and friends. At this time, all our musical artists will join in an ensemble for the closing song. We hope you can stay and enjoy some refreshments and good conversation following the completion of our community in concert. We'll be serving refreshments in the gathering place to my left.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling on to them. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Oh, yeah. Picture,